a class this fall quarter on the global water crisis, where we studied climate change and the other factors like industrial agriculture that contribute to the dwindling of water, our life. As a young person, it is incredibly difficult to see the impacts of climate change today, to see events like Hurricane Sandy and droughts across the United States and the entire world, and know that as we continue to warm the planet, the tundra in the north is melting, and underneath it is trapped billions of tons of methane gas, and to know that even if we stop right now, we are still going to see much, much more. I lost my sense of security about the future. I was depressed, alone, fearful. Thankfully, one day a friend invited me to go to the environmental impact scoping public hearing for the proposed Cherry Point coal export terminal, where I went to voice my opinion. And when I got there were 2,000 fellow community members there to express their grave concern about this project. In total, 125,000 people made comments, and among them, many demanded or asked the Army Corps of Engineers and the Department of Ecology to study the regional impacts of shipping coal from the mines in Montana all the way to the ports at Morrow in Oregon, Longview in Washington, and Cherry Point in Washington, to study the impacts cumulatively on air and water and regionally from Montana through Oregon and Washington and Idaho. I and many others also asked the Army Corps of Engineers to study the global impacts in regards to climate change that the proposed fossil fuel exports would have. A month ago, the Army Corps of Engineers told Congress that they, as the sole federal body reviewing and permitting all fossil fuel exports, had not listened to the public and would not study climate change or regional or cumulative impacts. So today, we demand that those impacts are studied by the Army Corps of Engineers for Cherry Point, Longview, Morrow, Oregon, and all fossil fuel exports. And that in those impacts, they study the impact that climate change will have on every citizen and life form of this earth.
Yes.
Now, this may sound like a tall order for an issue that is supposedly our grandchildren's problem. But today, I am that grandchild. The climate crisis is my lifetime. But even that does not tell the full story. I am a white, male, middle-class citizen of the United States. I am part of the major contribution to the climate crisis, and I will be affected last. The people who are least responsible for causing this crisis are being severely impacted as we speak.
That's right.
Across the world, subsistence fishermen are losing their ability to survive due to ocean acidification and rising sea levels on every continent. Rising food prices from droughts and severe weather are crippling the poor of the world, and devastating storms may hurt people in New York, but they devastate people in poor communities around the world. We, the people of the West, of the United States, have a responsibility to stand up and stop all fossil fuel extraction and build a sustainable, resilient future and a just future from the ground up. Today, we demand that the Army Corps of Engineers hear what we have been asking them politely, and it is within their power to study everything we are asking them to, and it is within our power to make them.
Our taxpayer dollars go to that.
And while we must pressure the established political system in every way possible, we must not count on them to make any sort of just or timely solution to this crisis. And a study of history shows that we cannot count on them to do that. We, the people, must take responsibility for the fate of this planet and the species that inhabit it. We must do whatever it takes to stop fossil fuel extraction, even if that means, and especially if that means, putting our bodies on the line. Today, we only make a simple demand, but mark my words, we will not go away. We will be there at every step of the way, doing whatever it takes to ensure that the Northwest does not become a fossil fuel corridor, that fossil fuel extraction ends, and that we begin to build a just tomorrow. I ask everybody who hears this to join us in this journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you.